G'day YouTubers and thank you for tuning into today's video on YouTube. Today it's going to be a very different sort of one, as always, as per usual. I would like to do different stuff other than just toy views, although I tend to take a look at toys and things. Today we're going to be doing a meteorology and some sort of weird consumer video on YouTube because I want to have a look at some of the stuff that I was actually on about, and I think it was all to do with toy trains back then. I think it was around 2 years ago. Who knows, every 2 years, should I just talk about toy trains and how much they cost? I don't know, it's quite crazy, isn't it? Maybe someone there who has actually seen this sort of image at the front will be like, "Oh, that's just great! I released all that hot air, let's try with nowhere to go! God damn it!" Anyways, without actually causing the neighbours to go absolutely angry right over here, because it's straightforward, nearly coming up towards midnight. In fact, we've already gone past through midnight. But yes, the weather is looking fairly unsettled, and yes, the weather is looking below the seasonal average. That feels more like winter, or maybe autumn, in that sense, than summer. So what we all got is a deep area of low pressure system that's actually coming from the Atlantic, but we might also have a cut-off low pressure system. Who knows? Because there's a lot of thunderstorm activity, which seems to make me think of the tropical rainforests of Malaysia. Do you know the way, my friend? No, that's the Democratic Republic of Congo, the most thundery area in the world, my friends. And hey, without many tropical countries around the world here, might say, hey, this is no tropical thunderstorm. This is like a thunderstorm out of nowhere. Maybe there's a big dragon that's breathing lightning outside and roaring like hell. Who knows about that? I'm just absolutely crazy in my own backside. I think the last time we actually had a thunderstorm was around the 12th of May, which unfortunately I didn't even got the chance to straightforward film because, well, I had that weird feeling that there was some sort of girl who was wearing some sort of weird, I think it was a lady who was wearing a dress shirt with a jacket on. And I just thought, nah, I'm not going to do that because, well, I'm probably thinking of having, I just don't want to think about things like forcing her to take off her clothes and then have to go to the bloody local police station and just for that sake. But anyways, so yes, we've got this deep area of persistent low pressure systems going around here. A very obstinate area of low pressure that's just straightforward. And as you can see, it's actually still moving along. But I think as coming up towards the end, high pressure is trying to ridge. Next week, it is actually looking much drier. So far by the looks of it. Low pressure is trying to wiggle around the early part of next week, but then look at high pressure. Look at the high pressure system. It's actually coming from the Azores side, but we've also got another high pressure system that is building from, let's just say, the east, more specifically Russia and Poland, I think, and Scandinavia. So we've got like a sort of an Eastern European sort of high. Hopefully we might get temperatures up to about, who knows, up to the high 20s. What's even more strange is that we've already got hotter temperatures. Well, apart from the fact that you're seeing some very cold Norwegian temperatures in the UK, we have got 30 degrees in Portugal, which is actually very reminiscent of North Africa. Who knows, there might be some lions living there, if I might be totally wrong. Hey, Spain is not Africa. Okay, I'm just going to straightforward think about countries with different climatic features because, hey, despite cultures and different animals and stuff, every region is so different than the rest of the world. But hey, I'm just bored of this complete bull crap relating to weather like this. Let's move on to trains and that kind of stuff. And just as I want to get a bit of a head around, speaking about meteorology, the BBC Weather and the Met Office have actually acknowledged a yellow warning for thunderstorms. Who knows? Lightning could potentially strike around my area here. And there's another warning which talks about a thunderstorm warning on Saturday. Who knows? There could be a big giant thunderstorm coming in along the way here. I've got a funny feeling about that one, hey? Yeah, you can definitely just see how bad and unlucky the summer has started, even though we already came from a very hot and dry spring. Very perplexingly warm, if not hot. Indeed. So, yes, there is going to be some very thundery activities around at this time. You can definitely see there's a lot of thundery outbreaks coming in. and it's not looking that great, considering it might be dangerous, because I could get struck by lightning, like the ones in Malaysia. I think in Malay, we just call it kilat, and hujan means rain in Malay, so there's a lot of like Malaysians and Indonesians watching this video. Please comment, that'll be fantastic. Anyways, let's move on to something else. Obviously, I've become a very big advocate person when it comes into collecting Thomas and Friends and Tomy Plowell trains. I'm actually sort of thinking of doing another one of these videos, which, right here, oh my goodness me. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, with Thomas the Tank Engine just straightforward going completely nutly manic. Well, it's not really that manic, maybe he's on drugs. But I'm going to be doing a very interesting subject mashed up with something very weather-based. Because I can't have a video that is just straightforward boring as hell. But not only that, I just want to straightforward revisit some of the weird things that are selling in AliExpress. And also various websites like eBay and Amazon. I don't think Amazon sells a lot of like Thomas and Friends stuff or Trackmaster stuff, but I'm actually sort of thinking I want to get more other Thomas characters other than just Thomas. And also, I do have a Tommy James, but unfortunately, I don't think he's working anymore. Probably because, one, he's getting old, two, his traction tires are broken, and I think, three, the wire system is broken. I think the motor is okay, but I think the motor is subpar. I guess it's not really that good, I think. So I don't think I've got the chance to pretty much fix James up. Maybe I need to go ahead and take him to a local Trackmaster and Tomy Train Hospital, if that makes any sort of sense. Okay, without staring into fish and chips like this one here, and also that one there on the top, left, of course. Delicious. That was good. But hey, let's not go ahead and talk about some bloody fish and chips. Because, hey, clearly what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to go to AliExpress and see how much those weird Trackmaster Thomas the Tank Engine toys are going to sell like. And I'm going to type in Trackmaster, which is going to be more looking like that. I'm actually quite curious of getting some weird... And look at the prices. They've actually... I don't know what's going on, but what I'm actually starting to see is, hey, the prices have actually started to jump a little bit higher, which is not that good, considering I've actually expected, I think what it was that there was some sort of discount with the Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends stuff right here. What is that? Is that something to do with Chuggington? Oh no, not that goddamn ripoff. No one would ever want to go out. Oh, what's that? Is that Playwell Nia for £30 and 82 pence? Oh my god, I need to get this thing. This is amazing. Wow. I think the Japanese marketing strategy behind this is just absolutely nice. We've got a Tomy Plowell layout system right here. I'm just very curious. If I set, let's just say, order on price low, pardon me, from at least about the lowest to the highest, we can start to see how amazing this is. Okay, I'm quite curious. Let me take a look at this one here. So we've got is that James, the modern style? I prefer the classic Trackmaster toys because they run perfectly on classic Trackmaster instead of frickin' Trackmaster 2 where they look so stupid and their designs, well, they struggle well with the classic Tomy and Trackmaster tracks. And it's 1 o'clock already. So we've got Rosie, lovely little chap. Charlie, fantastic engine. Harvey, pretty unusual. Emily, look, those prices are... Oh my god, I think that is well worth the bonus to buy Scruff. Oh my god, I really need to get Scruff. This is amazing. Rusty. Rusty! I want to get Rusty. And there's another version of Rusty with a coach. My goodness me, I don't know which one. Oh, I was going to get Rusty, but I just thought, nah, I just bought Luke. Just for the sake of the fact that he's a steam engine, and he's also quite rare, because I know it's classic Trackmaster, right? Bell, nah, not really that keen on trains with fake connecting rods. Stafford, with a very weird looking, sicko looking box car with lightning on it. Toby, I think Stafford is an electric engine, right? Neville, very nice black looking engine. Stepney, oh man, I want to go and get Stepney. Fiery Flynn, not sure about him. He does look quite cool because he's a fire truck that runs on rails. Maybe it works well on Tommy and Trackmaster Road better, I guess. Reneus, sort of. I think there is another version of Reneus where he's actually got actual connecting rods. Percy, looking good. Some people told me that this version of Percy is not as good as the Tommy Percy or other Percys. There's Thomas. There's Duke. Victor. Quite curious of getting other characters. Diesel. There's another version of Scruff. A different type of Thomas right here. Spencer. Look how shiny this one is. It's interesting, the Thomas models and Scruff, they look very cheap. I don't know how much, but they're not as... Victor as well. It's quite funny. It's a bit ironic. Have I actually seen this model of Victor before? Yeah, they do look very similar. Rosie. Very nice little chap. Same price. Salty. Oh, me hearties. I wish I could go and get the new Trackmaster Salty, but I couldn't get it, me hearties. Trackmaster Scruff looks good. Dodge looks good as well too. Diesel 10. Wow, that is an amazing model. Is that Duke again? Dennis looks nice and cheap. Fiery Flynn. And then we've also got Rusty. Again. Let's take a look at this one right here. This one's actually quite fairly interesting because we've got tender engines. We've got Douglas. Donald and Douglas. These two are very... I have to say these look very nice and cheap. But the shipping cost is relatively expensive, which I'm really much suffering from. That's not very good. We've got Diesel 10. Henry looks good. Edward's wheel arrangement doesn't look that great, but I tell you what, it looks like a very nice generic version of Edward. Gordon, fairly weird AA powered Gordon. James, looking very solid. There was one with bees on it. There's Bill and there's Ben. Are these real McCoys or are these knockoffs? Salty looks good, although it looks more like a knockoff Trackmaster to me. Victor also looks nice. Whiff has got the wrong type of wheels, but then it's a nice engine. And Dennis. Let me just see what other engines are also available. We've got Percy. I wanted to get a Percy, but... Oh my god, I want to get this Percy, man. Oh my gosh, there's Luke. Luke is alright. Why is this stupid bot appearing? Maybe I can just put, I'm not a robot. Okay, Scarloey. Good wheel arrangement. Same with Duncan. I think Duncan and Reneus is not that good. Charlie looks nice. Thomas is nice. Peter Sam's wheel arrangement is the weakest link, I think. I think Scarloey has got the best wheel arrangement. Much, much better. Imagine if Tommy did a model like this. That would have been so much better than just having this. Okay? That would have been so much better. Okay, so we've got... Oh, look at Reneus! Much better model of Reneus. Nicer one with the connecting rods. Dennis. Duncan. Stephen Rocket. Where's this bloody tender? Green Salty. Regular Salty. Charlie. There's Thomas again. I tell you what, I really want to go and get Percy because Percy is straightforward. Can anyone send me this Percy here? Hopefully in classic Trackmaster. Can anybody get me a Percy for Christmas or get me a Percy right now, because I can assure you this engine is so eye-catching to look at. But there's only 55 of it being sold. There you go, all kinds of different engines that we've seen. This one's more expensive, isn't it? But this one's got free shipping. We've got, there you go. Very much somehow the same, but yeah. Oh look, Hank is That's actually weird. Hank is normally powered by his tender, but he's engine powered. That's very interesting. Are these Chuggington rolling stocks? I think they are. What is that? Monkeys? How weird is that? I would have got some Chuggington rolling stock, but then I just think back to myself. I just thought, nah, they're not as good. I don't think they're as great as, you know, I think when I look at the Chuggington rolling stock, they're not as good as Thomas, I think. Okay, we've got more of this stuff. It's even more expensive. I would have gone for this rather than that, actually. Look at, oh my goodness me, look at Trackmaster Nia. She is hyperly expensive. Something you just don't get in British supermarkets. I'd love to get Nia, but hey, would have been very tricky to do so. And then we've also got this amazing Tomy Plurel track pack. Very awesome. And there's actually different... Oh look, there's a seafood delivery one. There's a... What is that? I've got no idea whatever the hell that would have been useful for like generic trains and that sort of stuff, hey? I don't know. It's a bit strange to be honest, hey? We've got this weird, I don't know what that is. Track pack. A level crossing? I don't think it's part of Tomy. Oh wow, that is a nice Shinkansen bullet train from Japan. Now, I don't know what that is. E8? It's a new train. I wanted to get this one because it looks pretty cool and it's got like a magnet on the back. Oh, nice Shinkansen. Does it have like a sound feature on it? Or does it go like fast and or slow? I'm not really quite curious about how they are being sold. I actually heard that Tomy is doing, I think from the back of my mind, they're doing a Harry Potter Hogwarts Express train. I'm actually quite curious about that Harry Potter train. Who knows? Let me just type in. I've just noticed that there's a Harry Potter train set. I've just had a look at it, and it looks pretty cool. It's based on Alton Hall, the Great Western Railway locomotive, and it does look very much... Well, it would have been so funny if I added, like, a James face onto it, and who knows, James the Red Hogwarts engine will be very canon. Well, it would have been, thank you to a lovely YouTuber called Terrier55 Stepney. Amazing person. I'll throw down a link on his bloody YouTube channel. Fantastic guy. Amazingly, I've never ever realised Tomy has done an amazing Harry Potter theme set. Well, what's even more curious is that the engine is tender powered. So instead of being just a powered engine, the tender is powered, which is actually quite very good, considering that whenever I think about this train, it looks totally nutty awesome. And look at the tender coupler. They look, wow, this is amazing. Now, what's even more strange is that, hey, look what's even amazing. You can start to see that this is actually designed for a genuine adult audience because, hey, clearly Harry Potter must have been aging like fine wine to me. It certainly has. And it does look very professional because of the track looking at it. Oh my goodness me, look how detailed this is. It does connect through the blue track. To be honest, it actually does. And what's really amazing is that, hey, this Harry Potter train set really does look eye-catching. Who knows? It's a fantastic Great Western Railway locomotive since we've got both Duck and Oliver. Very amazing Northwestern Railway. Oh, look, I'm in Twitter, but I don't often use Twitter or X. F you, Elon Musk. So, we've actually got some very amazing new trains. We've got Dirty Objects James with the tar wagon and his tar-covered face and body fuselage. Percy and the mail car with letters blown off. Thomas with a CGI face and a troublesome truck with a CGI face. How weird is that? And then we've got various different models, which I feel so jealous because I come from a generation in which my audience is from a poor country. But Malaysia seems to sell a lot of those amazing Hogwarts Express. Well, I don't think they do any Hogwarts Express stuff. But I'm sort of thinking they do. What is this? No way! Is this Trackmaster number 4? Is this Trackmaster 4? No, like, I'm totally speechless now. clearly when I see this, is this Trackmaster 4, like, whenever I see All Engines Go, that one abomination of a TV show that ruined Thomas the Tank, and guess what? Mattel has released a very amazingly fine detailed and amazingly upscaled actual Thomas the Tank. It looks amazing, but I'm not liking the way it's been made. I really hate those stupid click, click, click wheels, and the fact that you can't free roll, and the fact that they just struggle on Trackmaster and Tomy Track is a complete fail. Oh my goodness me. Oh, I would have got this Playrail C57, Murdoch. Not really that great. What's that? Is that the Railway Series? That is the 80th Anniversary Railway Series Thomas. Fairly weird. I can't really tell. There's more Playrail stuff right here. I want to get more of these. Maybe from 2026 or Christmas 2025. Who knows? I might get a generic steam engine. I don't know. Tommy Oliver looks very overrated. Same with Duck. Underrated, I mean, because they just look very unusual. But hey, let me just go ahead and take a look at eBay. Okay, I'm actually at eBay now. I just recently viewed a lot of like Thomas and Friends stuff right here. So we've got James. This James model here looks very much used. You can definitely see how used this is. And strange enough, it looks like that there's no stickers. It does look used, but I'm pretty sure all of the functions in this James model looks actually much better than the older one. I'm off to straightforward purchase this one because maybe I need to use that as a replacement over the other Tommy James I've got. But as I've noticed, the postage pricing is relatively expensive. I don't know what to really say, but there's also other trains. I'm actually sort of thinking I need to get ones which have got like free shipping on it. Tommy Percy, still got an expensive Royal Mail postage going around here. There's another Percy, which actually says free postage. The one I'm seeing, it looks somehow nice. It costs about £15, located somewhere in the UK. It does look relatively used, but I'm just straightforward thinking about how is the model going to be running. Is it a very good looking model? I'm just quite curious. I mean, I don't know how many stars this Percy has. There's another Percy which looks like it's been pre-loved or pre-owned. And what is this? Oh my goodness me, that's Trackmaster Percy. I prefer this one here because this version of Percy looks good. I hate Trackmaster 2 Diesel, but I prefer this Percy. It looks so much nicer than that Diesel, which actually is using the wrong motor and stuff. I don't really like when Trackmaster 2 is being sold, but as you can see, there's a lot of like Trackmaster 2 stuff being sold. You can definitely see all this stuff is getting very much hard and difficult to find now because obviously Trackmaster 2 has been aging like fine wine. Not, even though it is still straightforward existing in the form of All Engines Go, which has got those horrible abominations. And you know what I mean. They're just not going to bode well compared to the model series or even the modern CGI series, which even doesn't really bode that much compared to the model series of Thomas the Tank Engine. Quite curious. Let me just take a look at the... I'll just go ahead and search. Right, let's go ahead and see... let me just see which one. The lowest price ones. So, we've got some track. Lots and lots of track. Vast... Oh my goodness me, I don't think I found this piece here. It would have been amazing to get one of those. But, who knows, I need to get more of these extra Trackmaster and Tomy adapters. Or Trackmaster 2 Tomy adapters. That would have been fantastic. Troublesome Trucks. Looks good. There's more Tomy track right here. There's more of those 3D printed track adapters. They look fairly cool. There's a Cowbell. Lots of different accessories. I'm sort of thinking, are they going to be free shipped? I don't know if... Who knows? Is there going to be like any free shippings and stuff? I don't know. I'm just straightforward somehow thinking about free shipping. It's a bit somehow weird. I'm just looking around. Who knows? There might be some free shipping in it. I can't really tell. Flynn. Don't know how good or bad these models are. Lots of Trackmaster track classic ones. Those racetrack pieces do seem to be very flimsy and break off a bit. Percy looks good, but that's Trackmaster 2. I hate it. I don't like when it's... Oh my goodness me, look at those rolling stock bits. they look really cool. And yes, we've got more of this stuff. Is that Erdal Percy? That there looks like the model Erdal model Percy. That tunnel looks phenomenal. I'm just quite curious. I'm just scrolling through different bits of Tomy. Is that a mail wagon? All bits of different Tomy and Trackmaster trains. I'm just somehow quite curious of how they're just straightforward being made. Salty looks good, but look, he's missing the connecting rods, but it does look quite good for a diesel conversion. Not devious diesel, but something else, eh? We've got more. There's Salty right here. Is that a Tomy Spencer? Quite curious about that. More Percy's. There's a mail wagon right there. I'm just scrolling through different bits. Let's see if I go up to 240 pages and see how the heck this goes. I'm just whizzing my way through. Let's just go up to 9. Here you go. Very expensive. Very, very expensive. Yeah, there's a lot of this stuff. Oh, wow, that's very similar to the one I've got. That Tomy James. I would have bought Rusty. That would have been fantastic to get Rusty. But man, hey, you know, I would have bought all of the whole stock of Tomy and Classic Trackmaster. That would have been so good. Or some people call it Trackmaster 1. Another James. Very amazing. I think there were quite a few engines. Oh, look at that. Some of the troublesome trucks that lady came with. Of course. Is that Salty? My goodness me, this is actually amazing. I'm just whizzing by. But the problem with all this stuff that I'm just whizzing by, you have to be very careful. Because when it comes into eBay, you know, who knows? You know, one day eBay might be dead because of what I'm seeing here is a whole bunch of Thomas and Friends Tomy stuff. Yes, often my YouTube videos often tend to cover a lot of this stuff. Well, not really, because, hey, it's straightforward something, isn't it? Something that is totally not the, well, a little bit different than what I'd normally do. I'm just quite curious. I just can't stop looking over at all of the different Tomy and Trackmaster toys, you know? That's the thing, you know? I'm so effing tired! Blooming hell, I need to go back to sleep and get some rest. But I just can't stop looking at the Tomy Trackmaster stuff. There's Henry right here. I'm just looking for, you know, basically quite a bit of, who knows, I'm just seeing a bit of things that have a bit of free shipping. I'm just sort of thinking about that somehow. Get some free shipping and then, hey, that would be fantastic. I just don't know what I would think about getting. Oh, wow, condition. That's new and used. I'm actually quite curious about what conditions they have. I'm somehow quite curious. I might as well get the lowest price. Yeah, there's a lot of this stuff. Quite curiously, I think the track is often very fresh. Probably because of the fact that you know, track is actually straightforward, very common. And not only that, but track is straightforward, you know, very much more, you know, it's basically a lot more common than, let's just say, engines and rolling stock. But also, it's plentiful, okay? They often sold very much plentiful. There you go, there's more track, there's double track, there's straight, curves, points. Oh, look, Trackmaster or Tomy Douglas, or is it Donald? I can't really remember. I'm just straightforward thinking about getting a lot of, like, Tomy and Trackmaster stuff. I'm just hoping to get more of this stuff. Because, hey, when I went into a few places which have a lot of those, they don't allow me getting it. I'm just sort of thinking about, hey, you know, I want more of this stuff, really. I really want more. But then anyways, I'm just going to straightforward leave this video right now because very much of such, I'm obviously starting to think back to myself, wow, after doing a lot of, like, you know, weird analysing with various Tomy and Trackmaster Thomas stuff, and I'm sort of thinking, wow, can I go ahead and get some more of this stuff? Well, I'm pretty sure I would, but then hey, you know, that's just a bit rough already because hey, I need to get some sleep, and that's final. Anyways, I have to leave this video here because I don't think I'm going to carry on perusing around eBay because I do know that the sellers are going to kill eBay because you can't really tell if the item is going to be very good in condition or whatnot. Well, I really don't know. Anyways, I shall end the video right here. If you really enjoyed it, please give this video a very good like, subscribe for more flat videos in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and I hope if you really have seen so much in the way I've shown you, I don't know how much I could really say, but hey, buying a lot of Thomas & Friends stuff isn't very easy these days. It's such a fantastic site to look at, but then hey, be very careful please. Bye now.